Hi everyone, I'm Brooke from Art by Brooke, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about art journaling. So art journaling is mixed media collage or collage and writing in basically a journal format. It can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, and to me it's basically a way for me to get my thoughts down on paper, even on days that maybe I don't have the words to describe what I want to say. A lot of times I use paint and glue and paper and things like that to kind of get the mood of what I'm feeling, and then I'll use quotes or sometimes my own words or sometimes just images that describe how I'm feeling or things I'm going through, or sometimes I just use it for trying out new techniques, things like that. So I got into art journaling in about 2009, I think it was May 2009, where I started by using a large sketchbook. This is my first sketchbook. And I got about 10 pages in and stopped right around Christmas time. And then about 2 months into the new year, I started this Moleskine. So I got this for Christmas, and the size was a little less intimidating than the sketchbook, and I was really excited to try it out. So it's the first book that I finished all the way through, so I kind of consider it my 1.5, my first and a half art journal, because I did start in my big black sketchbook, and then I ended up going back to the sketchbook after I finished the Moleskine and finished it up. So today I'm going to do a flip through of just the first couple pages that got me into art journaling, and then I will do in a future video my next art journal. I've been doing art journaling on and off since 2009, and sometimes I'm working in my art journal almost every day or at least every week. Lately I haven't been doing as much as I wanted to, but I do notice that a lot of my stress and anxiety tends to ease a little bit when I'm working in my art journal. So I'm going to be trying to get back into that, and I thought showing you my previous journals might help me with my creativity and my inspiration to get back into it. Okay, let's get into it. So the beginning is very fitting because it was my very first art journal. And on this page, I did kind of a piece by Degas and a poem, I believe, by Emily Dickinson. Yeah. You left me sweet two legacies, a legacy of love. Yeah, that's one of her poems. And I believe this might be from something else. Each that we lose takes part of us, a crescent still abides, which like the moon some turbid night is summoned by the tides. That actually sounds like Emily Dickinson as well. Now, one of the things about my old journals is I never put who wrote things, or at least not often, and I did do that later. That got to be on my nerves. That got to get on my nerves because I could never remember who said it, and I hate it when artists don't get credit for something. So that was May 20th, 2009. And I didn't date all of my pages either, and I regretted that as well, so I started to do that later as well. This is a page where I believe this is mostly just journaling. This is a photo I took, and actually I don't think I made it that color. I think that our printer was running out of ink or something. And because of that, I chose kind of like the color scheme for the rest of the page. Both of these are flowers that I pressed myself, and then these were kind of cutouts. And here's a leaf from one of the flowers I pressed. So over here, the whole background of this is a poem. Nope, actually it's a song. I'm not sure who sang that, but I will look it up and I can put it in the description below. And this is a picture I took. I used my little sister's label maker to make these words, how will I know? I think this is just a doodle I did a long time ago. Katy Perry with no arms, that's kind of creepy. I'm a Taurus, so I put that in, and just some other bits and pieces that I found. That was May 21st. Now for these pages, I used a lot of Mod Podge to kind of stick everything down. and I don't recommend that. I know a lot of people who love Mod Podge and they use it for everything, but for me, it always gets very sticky even after you've let it dry for 24, 48, 72 hours. And it always sticks together and rips my pages. I don't know if it's because they get too humid where they're stored or what, but they always seem to get ruined when I use Mod Podge. So after the first 10 pages or so, I didn't use it anymore, at least not as much, not over everything. So this is a poem I wrote. This, it's an interesting page. I believe that this, oh yeah, it's so an art journal prompt that urged me to journal the ugly instead of beauty for once. So it makes it seem, I don't know, I was kind of judgy then, but it makes it seem like these women are not beautiful. Really, I think I was trying to talk about society's feelings on women and how women should look and how women should be. But I don't think it came across very well on this page, so I don't really like looking back at this page very much. Also, animal abuse and just the crazy amount of waste. I'm going to hopefully come a little bit further than this type of page. But I really loved this page. I just cut out a lot of black and white photos and did a little bit of paint on it. I used acrylic paint to make this quote. "Painting is easy when you don't know how, but very difficult when you do." And that's Degas as well. This is another Emily Dickinson poem in the back. And it looks like I just wrote it a bunch of different times. These were done in watercolor and again covered over with Mod Podge, so they've gotten kind of ripped and messed up, but they were a lot of fun to do. So this quote, "I don't like standard beauty. There is no beauty without strangeness." And that's a really, really cool quote. And I think it goes well with what I was painting at the time. So these were May 25th. And you'll see a theme in my art journals where a lot of them end up being several on the same day. And then for a while, I don't do anything. And then several on the same day again. That's just kind of how I work. For these pages, I wanted to do kind of a warm and cool look to them. And for these, I actually got a lot of the ephemera from my friend Karen. She's actually the one who got me into art journaling, and she gave me my very first art journaling magazine, which shows a lot of art by different art journalers or mixed media artists, and it totally inspired me, and she's totally the reason that I got into art journaling, so I really appreciate that. So thank you, Karen, if you're watching. And she basically just gave me free reign in her scrap boxes of all her awesome little bits and pieces. So a lot of these things came from her house. They don't necessarily have an exact theme, though this is a poem I wrote, and these are just kind of little quotes that were already on there. Some more quotes. So, "A number 2 pencil and a dream can take you anywhere." And just an eye I drew. I drew eyes all the time. I still love them. They're a lot of fun to draw. And then I think this was a stencil I did, but it kind of bled, so I ended up doing some other things over it. And then I think this is a quote from a song. "I'd be lying if I told you losing you is something I could handle." And I think this was watercolor as well. Yep. Here's an Albert Einstein quote. "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." Again, this is mostly done in watercolor. The writing is in a pen. I can tell because I can see the pen marks in the heart. And then over here, "Labels are for filing. Labels are for clothing. Labels are not for people." And basically just put a lot of different labels in here. And I wrote, "Labels can make or break. I won't let them define me." That's kind of fun. So this is a quote that I had written on a piece of paper and kept for a while. I like to collect quotes and things like that, and then eventually put them in my art journal. Sometimes I'll just add a little bit of something around it. So if they give you ruled paper, write the other way. And then this is a collection of photos from a birthday party for my friend. And it was a lot of fun. We kind of did like an Alice in Wonderland tea party. And I brought my cat's toy with me to be like the little mouse at the tea party. And it was just a lot of fun. So I wanted to document that. This is a bunch of journaling as well. And another quote. Let's see. I hate you, then love you. It's like, I want to throw you off a cliff and catch you. And just a picture from a magazine that I put in there that I just really liked the look of. This is a quote that just really resonated with me. And I'll have to look up who said it. I love this page. It's very like pop art, kind of surreal. And this quote is something that's followed me for a long time. So, to be great is to be misunderstood. I don't know why, it's just always resonated with me, and I was really excited that the page came out similarly to how I felt about the quote. So, really like that. And then Feed the Curiosity, I really wasn't happy with this at all when I made it. I think I wanted to have some sort of color in the background or something. I just didn't like how the elements came together. But I usually like to, if I can handle it, if I can stand it, leave in pages that I don't really like as much. Because a lot of times either I'll come back and like it again later, someone else will identify with it and like it, or I just enjoy seeing kind of where I was at any given point and see where I've grown since then. So this is a detailed colored pencil drawing I did, and I must have been reading 1984 at the time because it says up here, Big Brother is watching you, and I believe this is like the building of peace or something like that, the interrogation building in the book, and just kind of journaling while I was thinking about the themes from the book. And here we had spaghetti tacos for dinner. I put Taco Bell mild sauce on mine. Very random. My siblings were watching, I believe it was iCarly, where they had spaghetti tacos, and we begged my parents to let us try that, and it was actually really good. We tended to do that every now and then for family dinners after that, and I guess I just felt the need to document it. So yeah, I think this was the last page before I switched to my other journal. So this was in December of 2009, and I just was getting overwhelmed by how big the pages were, and I decided I really wanted to switch and try something small. I kind of gave up for a little while, honestly, but then at Christmas time I was given a Moleskine, and I got really inspired by that size, and so I switched to that. And then I ended up coming back to this one because, one, I hate leaving a journal unfinished, and two, I felt like I had more tools under my belt to be able to deal with kind of a bigger page, and I wanted to push myself with that. So that's it for the very first couple of pages that I did with art journaling, and I will come back for another video to show you my first fully finished art journal in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and you'll see future videos when I do more flip throughs, or when I do paint pouring videos, or when I do more kind of art journaling videos in the future. Please comment down below if you have ideas of videos you'd like me to do or things you'd like me to try. I have lots of art supplies, and I get very excited to try new things. Remember to like this video and share it with your friends. I'm trying to create a community of people who love art just as much as I do, and the more the merrier. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.